My fear is that Siri is gonna take down Apple.
Second Baptist Church on 3rd Street Northwest in Washington.
What are you talking about? Shut up! Apple has got a very serious problem, and it is going to only get worse if they don't start addressing it right away. WWDC is right around the corner, and really time is running out. I'm talking about Siri. Siri sucks! Now, I made a video very recently talking about why iOS 16 is so buggy and how that's going to be a major issue for Apple, but I didn't even really have time in that video to touch on Siri. And that's not a recent phenomenon. Siri has sucked for like 5 or 6 years. I honestly cannot remember the last time Siri had a meaningful improvement. The only thing that comes to mind is circa like 2017 or 2018 when they improved the voice and made it sound more natural. But the actual functionality has barely changed in the 12 years that Siri has been out. And that is unacceptable. A new report is out detailing turmoil behind Apple's efforts to improve Siri and goes into a bunch of really juicy details about what happens behind closed doors with Apple's Siri team. It's really juicy, but this is a well-timed report because we are now just a month away from WWDC 2023, and that is going to be a big moment for Apple. They need to prove that in moving forward with their iOS and macOS platforms and introducing a new one for virtual or augmented reality, they need to fix Siri. Siri is going to be crucial to an augmented reality world. AI is definitely making its move, and Apple is completely behind. So I'm definitely nervous to see how Apple responds to all of this at WWDC. But whether it's good or bad, you guys could have the chance to come experience that with me, because the day after WWDC, I'm going to be hosting a live in-person event. I teamed up with Sam and John from Genius Bar, and together with my podcast co-host Noah Rubin, we're calling it Genius Bar Goes Dark, and you can think of it as a live audience interactive podcast with some giveaways, with some fun games. It is going to be an amazing time. It's a one-night only event, and it's brought to you guys by Clean My Mac X. Big thanks to them for making this possible. We're going to be at the Regency Ballroom in San Francisco, and you can grab tickets right now with the link in the description below. I really hope to see you guys there because I am super excited for WWDC this year, and I hope you guys are too. We get to, have a little bit of that excitement or outrage if they don't do a good job together. So let's talk about Siri, because Siri is in a very weak position. Google Assistant, Alexa, and now ChatGPT, they're absolutely wiping the floor with Apple's efforts. And a big reason that that's the case is because Apple is completely obsessed with control. From top to bottom, they want every single aspect of your user experience to be decided intentionally by them, whether that's making sure you can't upgrade the storage in your Mac Studio because they don't want you to, or whether that's preventing embarrassing Siri responses by having Siri's responses pre-written by a team of around 20 writers instead of AI generated. That is the lengths that Apple is willing to go to make sure that everything is exactly what they want it to be. Apple executives are said to have dismissed proposals to give Siri the ability to conduct back and forth conversations. They said it would be difficult to control and gimmicky. They've been pushing for more and more of the assistant's functions to be performed on device, which prevents it from gathering information from the internet. And they even had specific decisions to exclude information like iPhone prices in order to push people to Apple's website instead. But perhaps the best way to understand just how much Apple's obsession with control has ruined Siri is this tidbit. Apple's design team repeatedly rejected the feature that enabled users to report a concern or issue with the content of a Siri answer, preventing machine learning engineers from understanding mistakes because it wanted Siri to appear all-knowing. I mean, this is just madness. How can you call Siri a virtual assistant when all of the responses are written by human writers or just saying, here's what I found on the web? That is not helpful at all. ChatGPT, Bing, Bard, these are Unreal Engine 5. And Siri is Oregon Trail. So it's no wonder that for the past 5 years, the Siri team has devolved into a mess driven by petty turf battles between leaders and heated arguments over the direction of the assistant. They didn't want to invest in tools to analyze usage, and engineers lacked the ability to obtain basic information such as how many people were using the assistant and how often. Some former employees said that the data that was obtained about Siri was simply not being used, a complete waste of time and money. And so it's no wonder that countless engineers are leaving the Siri team. It's no wonder why I was able to buy this internal Siri water bottle at a Goodwill for $7, because nobody wants to be a part of a team with no direction, no ability to actually assist virtually in a virtual assistant, and that is completely ignoring the advancements in AI large language models. And the effects of this are wide-ranging. I mean, Siri is effectively useless for anything other than basic call and response commands. For example, I asked Siri when high tide is. That's a very simple, easily Googleable piece of information, and predictably, it comes up with a couple results from Google, won't say anything out loud, and the results that it brought up were in California, which is not where I am, and when I clicked on the show Google results, then Google was the one that figured out, hey, this guy's on the completely other coast of the United States. Let's show the times for there. Here's another fun one. I have Philips Hue lights, and if I ask Siri to turn them off, the first thing it does is ask me which room I would like to turn off. So I specify one room, and then 9 times out of 10, it says the home hub is not responding, and it simply doesn't do anything. And I know that that's not true, because if I go into the home app, I can turn the lights on and off easily. Siri can't even control app functionality in Apple's own native home application. Now, I know that several people at this point are going to be saying, hey, Luke, it's fine. I don't really use Siri all that much. All I need are Siri shortcuts because I just want to say a thing and it'll do a thing about it, right? Easy. And that's fine. But Apple's unwillingness to embrace even the most mild amounts of artificially generated assistance manifests in other places. I mean, take a look at the keyboard. Every single time I type the 4 letters W-E-R-E, it sticks an apostrophe in it. Hey, Apple, the word were exists. And sometimes I want to use it. Even at the start of a sentence, I get that we're is a more commonly used first word in a sentence than were, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. And have you ever tried to use their predictive keyboard? It sucks. The only thing that is ever in it are just these stupid little connector words. Is, of, the, before, after. That's all it ever has. It doesn't have any sort of intelligence. The only time I use the predicted keyboard is to un-autocorrect something that it's incorrectly correcting. Hate that. And these things are starting to become more and more unacceptable. In 2016, it was fine, right? Because that's what everyone else was doing too. But now we're at a point where you can have an AI write your entire paper for school, and Siri can't even figure out whether you're trying to type we're or were. Come on. This is Siri's final stand, in my opinion. If they are not able to make substantive changes to Siri this year, in 1 month's time, and we're then waiting a whole other year before they even have the chance to roll out new features, they're doomed. Apple really thinks that they can revolutionize mixed reality. But in a world where you're wearing the device on your face instead of touching it with your fingers, you need to have a voice-based assistant that can do something. And Siri isn't there. So my fear is that Siri is going to take down Apple's
Second Baptist Church on 3rd Street Northwest in Washington.
What are you talking about?
To your north.
Shut up!
Looking for?
No! I didn't even talk to you!
The second is Modern Nail Bar.
Hey, hey,
on K Street
Siri,
Northwest in
stop.
Washington.
Hey Siri, shut the hell up.
The next one is City Vista on K Street.
How is this still happening? How is this still going? I don't know.
Gets 1 star on Yelp.
Hey Siri, stop. My fear is that Siri is going to completely torpedo Apple. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm pretty sure Siri's going to try to torpedo me in my sleep. I'm sorry. I was mean to you, but you kind of deserved it. Okay, I'm going to end this video before I die. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.